for us because it has been a quarter of a century since the three of us have been together.
Wow.
And it is, I mean, it's all because of you guys that we're here. It's just, thank you so much. Wow. And I have to say, after looking at those clips of our pilot, Professor, you are in the best shape of your life right now. What are you doing?
Well, he's so right, of course. Yes, but, you know, I knew him when he was just a young, blistering idiot. And now, look at him, this lean, tall, mature, fighting machine. Sitting next to... Remember? The singing man. What was it? Dancing man. The crying man. Oh, come on, give us a try.
I missed my Cadillac. What am I gonna do then?
For those who don't know, Cleavant Derricks is the most highly awarded cast member, sorry Professor, of Sliders. The man is a Tony winner. Give it up for Cleavant. And I want to say something else because we have this has to be said. It's now 2020. It's 2025, right?
Yeah.
Quite right.
2025. Sliders was the first to do multiverse of any of these places. They all copied us. We were the first. Marvel. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry.
Actually, the real reason we're here is we are trying to drum up the evidence support that we have to try and tickle, persuade, or even ding into the head of whoever owns Sliders and the rights of it, so we can reboot it. Cleavant, would you do it again?
I would certainly do it again. I stayed to the end before. Breaking my heart, the others were...
Jerry, would you do it?
Walked away, but I stayed because of all of you.
That's why they call him the crying man.
I'm still crying.
I gotta say, that was a really tough day when they killed off the Professor, and we were there for that. Remember, we were
Yeah, brother.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it was to get fired from that show?
I mean, it should be said that the show started with our creator, Tracy Torme, who is sadly no longer with us, God rest his soul. But he had a vision for the show that I believe after the second season, we had new showrunners. And I mean, I think enough time has passed here that, John, you really didn't get along with the new showrunners. You had, I don't know if you guys know this about the Professor or John Rhys-Davies, but if he has an opinion about something, he really lets everyone know about that opinion.
And I may have been a little lacking in diplomacy, but the truth is, when you're asked to speak scientific garbage, you damage the world, you damage science. And America is the home of the greatest science in the world. I work for NASA sometimes, the glory of mankind.
Guys, I want to tell you, the Professor's edible just kicked in. I'm so sorry. Only mine kicked in. Yeah, that was tough. And then after 4 seasons, I left the show, and I left.
Me alone.
Not alone. I'm so sorry. Also, it should be said, Sabrina Lloyd, who is not sitting here, is currently in Europe. Couldn't make it, had a family thing. Wanted to be here, but Yeah, it's funny, the Sliders all broke apart, and this is the first time we're back together without Wade since the professor got shot in that episode.
No, didn't I get injected in the brain or something like that?
We're going to do a rewatch, the professor and I, after this.
Because I got the audition when I was in New York, and I read it, and I thought about this guy and how he would be in talking with Tracy. I felt Tracy wanted him to be a little exaggerated or whatever. He was on his way of trying to get back. Now, in my people, when you're trying to climb that ladder again, as I saw one evening on television when a young lady walked out on a boxing match and she sang the song. And I never recognized the song as she sang it.
Sure.
I said, that's Rembrandt. That's Rembrandt. He can sing, but he over-exaggerates the thing.
Right.
And he's going to try to make his comeback. I auditioned it that way. Tracy went crazy. He said, Cleavant, I knew if I had you in to do it, that you would do such a wonderful job with this character. You see him better than I do. And I want you for this show, for this pilot.
So this is actually an interesting thing, because what happened was there was a script written, there was a concept, parallel universes, we were the first to do it, whatever. But there was a character for a blues R&B singer. And Cleavant, coming in with his experiences of people going to sing national anthems, it changed the trajectory of that character.
Yeah.
So almost in like a groundling sort of like character building manner, your audition heavily influenced where the direction of Sliders was going to go.
Where it was going to go, especially from at the fact that here I was with a group of people who were geniuses, who were bright, which Rembrandt really didn't have all of that. But Tracy just felt like, more than the comic relief, he was the one that was always asking questions, always the one bringing up situations, why we have to, all of the above. In other words, he was the average man caught up in a scientific world of strategy. So that's who Rembrandt was. And I loved him, I really did. I loved the character. And he was, I miss Tracy, because Tracy was really the one that helped me to discover that character, and for all of you to appreciate what we were doing with the character and then with the show. It was wonderful. Yeah. It was absolutely wonderful.
For those who don't know, that first episode that we shot for a few days in San Francisco. I know you're going to remember this, because if memory serves me correctly, if anyone remembers our first episode, Rembrandt is on his way to sing the national anthem at the San Francisco Giants baseball game. And it's going to be his big comeback, and he has a talk with his agent, who's like a Broadway Danny Rose, and this is it. And then on his way to the baseball game, he falls into the wormhole and is not in that universe. So instead of wanting to get home, he just wants to get home to sing the national anthem to kickstart his career. But shooting that pilot, Cleavant, do you remember this? We went to a Giants game, and
I was about to say it. We went to a Giants game, an actual Giants game. Tracy went with us. So we got there, I looked at the crowd, and you know how it is, a stadium is nothing but heads just all over the place. Tracy walks up to me, Cleavant, I want you to sing it like what Rembrandt would do. I want you to just get out there and just be Rembrandt. So I'm looking at all these white faces out there. And I'm saying to myself, Derricks, if you go out there and do Rembrandt with all these patriots sitting in these seats in mockery of the nation's #1 song, no. Tracy said, come on, man, you can do it. I said, Tracy, whatever you want, let that shit go, because I'm not feeling like that. Ain't no way. And I sang it straight, and they appreciated it, and Tracy looked at me and said, I was just kidding. Oh, God.
You had been canceled before.
Yeah,
cancel culture.
Yeah.
Now, Professor, how did, I don't know this story. How did Sliders, you were, look, not to diminish, obviously, Tony Award-winning careers and my career, but I'm not insulting anyone by saying John was the most famous person of the Sliders when we got there, right? I mean, everywhere we went, people would be like, Indy! How did Sliders come to you?
Oh, I don't know. I got a call. I went and met them. I said, look, science I love. Yes, let's do this. And it ended up with them saying to me, look, all we want you to do is play, some years later, all we want you to do is play the bad scientist in Lost in Space. I mean, they could have hired the original for that. Never mind. Yeah, it was a fantastic prospect. It was one of the most open-ended possibilities for a series that we ever had, actually. And when you can go anywhere in space and anywhere in time, you really do have an infinite number of possibilities. And we had some wonderful episodes. I remember being chased down the street in Westwood, and a man came up to me and said, look, I teach physics at UCLA. I beg you, do not mock, don't make a mockery of science or scientists, because we find it very hard to get young people interested in science. And we use your episodes of Sliders as a kicking point for conversations first thing in the morning. And that's, look, in those days, the average American child spent 14 hours a week watching television. It was not just entertainment, but we could actually sell science, engineering, those things, and above all, teach them that there are other forms of passion, and intellectual passion is one of the most exciting passions. And if you can inspire children to do that.
Oh shit, we got the professor going, Romy. Oh shit.
You're the one that got him on the mic.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Come on, I think we ought to say together that famous line of his, feet. Do you remember that one?
Oh, when he said it in the pilot, was it in the pilot?
Yeah. Come on, we're gonna do it. Reset. Come on. All right, feet don't fail me now.
I cannot remember that part. Yeah, it really was. I don't think there was any show like it when it came on. But you know, I do have to say, we did. We were on Friday nights. I mean, does anyone remember like early Sliders Friday nights? 8 p.m. It came on. It was a pretty fun night because we had the 8 p.m. slot, and then 9 p.m. X-Files came on.
Yeah.
And it was like a real like Friday night. It was a double science sci-fi bill, you know. And it's so funny. I think in this streaming age, you don't get like appointment 2-hour blocks there where you have to be there for what it is. With Sliders for me was like no other show I had ever. I mean, I guess some could say it was a little Quantum Leapy, which came a couple of years before us. Shout out Quantum Leap. You get applause. But the possibilities really were endless on our show. And what were some of your favorite worlds that we went to, and where would you have liked to have gone to?
I would have to say, what's that?
Male pregnancy.
Someone just shouted male pregnancy.
I want to see you after this.
Cleavant.
No,
Wow, before it was such a crazy issue, Cleavant did get pregnant on Sliders. We had an episode.
Yes, we did. But what I really loved about it was when we first started, the first couple of seasons, because it always was dealing with science and space travel. And that was always interesting to me because I was never fancy with all of the scientific elements of life and so forth. So I was being educated as well as doing a show. So I loved all of what was being written about the Sliders and the adventures we could get in. When we lost John, then we lost Sabrina, and we eventually lost Jerry, I just felt like the writers and all that were coming in, they were creating things that may have been interesting, but I just felt like I was missing something. I felt like I was missing something in the camaraderie that we had, in the struggle that we had, in the conflicts that we had, and a lot of it had to do with the scientific element of everything that was going on. So I felt somewhat lost within the last couple of seasons. I felt somewhat lost because we were doing pretty much anything.
Right. Well,
and that in its sense, I wasn't sure whether we were going to be back on the right track, but I stayed. And the reason why I stayed, and I probably said this before, was because I felt I owed it to whatever audience we had left to stay.
I was out of there, everybody. Jokes.
But you had your first chance of directing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I do have to say, and sorry if we're getting a little complainy here and we're crying and stuff. We're usually pretty happy people, I swear. But you know, what happened was Sliders, when it began, was really about what if this happened in history and everything went this way? Or just everything went, for me, the best Sliders episodes where everything was the same, but just things were just a little bit different, you know? And it was just, it got sort of an eeriness to it, you know? That makes classic sci-fi, Doctor Who. There's just something a little bit eerie about it. My favorite episodes, I think, I guess I have to say that one where we were immediately held captive because we were used as breeders.
Oh yeah.
That was, John really, the professor really liked that episode. I mean...
Well, yes, I think so. What was that, the one where I improvised a little speech about, no, that was the lottery one, you know?
Yeah.
You win the lottery.
Yeah.
And you have all this money and you have a couple of weeks to spend it and then they kill you. And it's a way of limiting population. And I improvised a little speech on that, which they kept in, which won a $10,000, I think, award, which was given to the writer of the show.
I didn't know that. Wow, this is turning into a real complaint fest up here. Really disgruntled. Where's the professor's money?
Yes!
Listen, we're going to take questions from the audience, but before we get there, I'd like to ask, let's look to the future. Let's try and be happy about this. Cleavant, where would you like to see Sliders go if we were to continue on? Have you thought about that?
Not really.
It's funny you say that because I know John has, because man, those late night texts are pretty crazy. When he gets an edible in him, that phone won't stop buzzing, and my whole family's like, oh, here comes the professor again. He's got another idea for sliders. Anything that you would like to reprise about your role about Rembrandt? Anywhere you'd like to, maybe somewhere you've seen your life go that you'd like to, being that you had such an effect on the character Rembrandt? Anything you would like to see happen with Rembrandt?
I would like to see Rembrandt lost. I would like to see him in a world. The last thing I did, if I remember correctly on the last episode, I went through the vortex, and that was pretty much it. So I would like to see Rembrandt lost in a world by himself and a bum. A bum, lost, friends no longer there, maybe alcoholic, maybe. You know.
This is turning into a dark panel.
Are you suggesting you want to practice this now?
Well, but then hold on a second. But then, after about a couple of episodes, these other rascals show up and try to work me out of my situation. Before I kick their ass.
It was my fault. It was my fault. This whole thing is sort of my fault a little bit.
Yeah, brother.
I do want to apologize for that.
That's all right.
I like that. So you'd like to see them reunited?
Reunited. But
All right.
take a few episodes so I can really tell how I feel about you rascals for dragging me in it in the first place. And I want my Cadillac.
Professor, imagine this is my phone late at night. You can't sleep. You've got ideas for the new sliders. Action.
Jerry, look, it is the best precept, the best concept for a television show, and certainly as good as anything we're seeing at the moment on television. It is time to bring sliders back. Now, this is my idea. We pick up with the 4 originals. We pick them up and get them together. And we go on, we'll pick up new young talent. We'll try them out in front of an audience. Some we will take with us, some we may have to dump. After a couple of seasons, I'm out because I've got other things to do. And anyway, and you two go on, and Sabrina as well, until she wants out, and you end up becoming essentially the Arturo figure.
Oh, yeah!
And you've got a bunch of young people that you are now mentoring.
Right.
And what we do is you set up the show so that you do 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons. And then, when the show comes to an end, what you have is a cadre of loved sliders in there so that in 15, 20 years' time, they can pick it up again.
That show Neighbors, the one show that never ends. It's like a soap opera.
I'm impressed. Why not?
Wow, you know what? I should pick up the phone when you're calling me at 3 in the morning. I'm really sorry about that. By the way, I have this is the first time I've ever had facial hair. I have like a Professor Arturo starter kit happening right now. You know what? Let's go to the audience. I'm gonna run around with the mic and like if anybody has.
We've got a mic there, oh boy.
Oh, we have a mic there?
Yeah.
Okay, but first of all, I want to come over here. I want to, hold on, if like a camera can like follow me over here. I want to acknowledge and thank our sign interpreters over here. We're doing a photo op. For the gram, it's all for the gram. Let's take some questions, Sliders fans. Come on.
Oh, he's come back. You see, you can come back from sliders.
You're so cool.
My first question was what you guys already answered was about the reboot. So my second question would be, besides Sliders, what was your favorite TV show or movie that you've ever acted in?
Well, I'm gonna say, thank you, Joe's Apartment. You know, I'm gonna say, this is actually, I'm gonna say, guys, you're all my first. This is the first con I've ever come to where I haven't been with my wife. My wife is an actress. Oh, ma'am, just to hang up, ma'am. Hey, ma'am, miss.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Will you just hang out there for 1 second? Because I'm gonna address something. This is the first con I've come to where I haven't been a +1 for my wife, or I haven't been like, sometimes they send you to do publicity for something, and they send you to a con, but this is the first time I've come with a cast and like, come on my own, you know? And it's so much fun talking to all of you. Like, just out there, it's just crazy that, you know, we wake up in the morning and we think, wow, it'll be so fun to redo Sliders. And then, like, you're like, oh no, that's just in your head. You, like, get out, like, stop thinking about the same things, like, move forward. And then to come here and hear everybody talk about Sliders, it's just like,
Look at this.
like, you just say to yourself, like, I knew it. I knew people were still talking about it. But I have to say, my first real introduction to the cons were I do an animated show for Star Trek called Star Trek Lower Decks. And that's when I first started coming to cons, and I couldn't believe the power, the energy, how it was touching everyone. You know, it was just really exciting. So I would say Star Trek Lower Decks. You guys have to answer what your favorite projects are outside of working with me.
There was nothing to compare with working with him.
No, it was not. Stand alone, brother. Stand alone.
Now you know why some of us left.
Early on.
Favorite project, come on.
Favorite project, all right. I loved doing Showman many years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I might be going back to Japan one of these days to do a show like this. And I was looking up all the old actor friends of mine who were there, and sadly, most of them are dead.
A real bummer of a panel, Professor. Really bumming everybody out.
The thing that really upset me most was the beautiful. Does anyone remember Shogun back in the? You remember the beautiful Yoko Shimada? Yes, the first Asian to get a Golden Globe nomination. The toast of America, the toast of everywhere that Shogun was shown. She was a singer, a popular singer in Japan. And I don't know what happened, but she went back and something went wrong with her career. And she vanished. 2 years ago, she was admitted to a hospital in Tokyo with terminal cancer. Nobody came to visit her. Nobody came to claim the body when she died. And somebody turned up, they cremated her, and somebody said, I know where her parents are buried, I will put the ashes on her grave. How do you go from that to oblivion? Terrifying. Anyway, you're right, I'm a real bummer, aren't I?
Come on, favorite role other than working with the professor and I?
Particularly the professor, and Jerry.
It's gotta be Dreamgirls, come on. It's gotta be Dreamgirls. You wanna tell me?
We all depressed now, man.
him up. Cheer up.
Yeah,
It's okay. Cheer up. Cheer up. It's okay.
I would say two of them. One having to do with theater and the other one having to do with movie. And it was DreamWorks. Because it came up through a workshop. And we workshopped that show for almost 2 years before it ever got to Broadway. And by the time it got there, it was stupendous and we loved it. For the films, it was Moscow on the Hudson. Robin Williams.
All right.
And I love that man till this day. He was absolutely great to work with. We had a lot of fun. We were shooting there in New York City. And it was probably one of the most joys of my life, was working with him. Moscow on the Hudson.
Before we let this young lady go, this young lady asked about like a reboot, and like, could you quickly like talk about what?
Could you talk into the microphone, please? So we can get it.
What, Professor? What should we do if we're looking to get a reboot? Is there a petition we can sign?
Professor.
We can't understand you for some reason.
Use the other microphone.
Dude. Oh, how are you, man? Professor, what should we do if we're interested in a reboot? Is there a petition we can sign? The young lady asked about a reboot, where we imagine it, but how would we even get it off the ground? Who do we talk to?
Well, God knows who we talk to, but there is a petition, I believe, online. Did somebody tell you about that?
Yeah, it's online. I'm going to repost it on my social media.
And you'll do it on yours as well, won't you?
Yes, I will.
So there's a petition. But
Bring back sliders!
all right, thank you so much. All right,
You see, basically,
Oh boy.
George,
we have a lot of questions. Let's keep this under 2 minutes.
yeah, okay. Basically, men are no longer allowed to be peacocks. And they should be. And the only way you can wear color and things around your neck relay, I mean, apart from grubby t-shirts with funny little bring Gimli back sort of signs and things like that, is by wearing a tie. And a tie should educate, a tie should be beautiful, and a tie should be something that shy people can say, ooh, that's a nice tie, that's Christopher Columbus. That's why I wear ties. Hundreds of them.
Sorry.
The professor just had to say that thing about the t-shirt. Look at me. Look at me. Nice. Hello, who are you? What's your question?
I'm Patricia, and I have a question for each of you because I've recently been reminded of people that I've lost and that I miss. And I know that you miss working together, but I wanted to ask each of you what your favorite memories were of certain people. What your favorite memory of was working with River Phoenix, with Sean Connery, and Bernie Mac.
I'll start with River Phoenix. He was just the kindest. He was just, you know, at that age when you're teenagers can be a little rude, and he was the complete opposite of that. It's funny, rewatching Stand By Me, he's very much like his character Chris Chambers, who just brings everybody together. I really miss him a lot. Cleavant?
Yeah, Bernie Mac. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful to work with. Beautiful man, always giving when I was on the set. Whatever he had time to spare, we would sit down and we would chit chat and talk about things, about life in the hood and whatever the case may be. But he truly was a funny man. We all know that. He was hysterical. I couldn't believe when we lost him. He really touched my heart when I worked with him, and I never forgot the camaraderie that we had. I miss him like I miss so many others that we've lost over the past few years. And it kind of wakes you up to the reality of life, where we are now. I see all of us here in the theater today, and I look at all of these wonderful people who each of us had a chance to make aware or get involved with traveling to worlds of science or whatever the case may be, what Sliders did for you. It does my heart good because now I know that my stay, in spite of the fact that a lot of the material and all was going downhill, that my stay with the show meant something. And I thank all of you for sticking with us in spite of all the things that we went through, the heartbreaks and all of that. I'm looking at and I'm looking at all of you wonderful people who we influenced, and I think about that and I'm overwhelmed right now. I never thought I would see an audience this big, this soon for Sliders.
I want to say something else. Sorry, hold on a second, everybody. I want to say something else. It's very interesting working in television because you watch it when it comes on TV at home, maybe with a few of your family members. How crazy is it that we're with Sliders and we're without these people? Isn't that bananas?
It's like extension of your family, to be honest. I mean, we put it on film, but you were the ones who helped us to stay. You kept us there. It's like you're honestly like family. It's like you're our associates. You identify with what we were trying to do. And I'm looking at all of this and I'm like, my God, where did we go wrong? Thank God it wasn't our fault.
Well, you know, let me just say, I think what became popular, the show went through some creative changes and it became more of the Cro-Mags became more of a main character. They were the bad aliens that were ruining parallel worlds. And it became sort of a monster of the week that we had to fight.
That's
and
true.
I think it was, at the time, in the late 90s, popular science fiction. You know, guns.
That's right.
There was a lot of guns. They always put guns in our hands. And that was sort of weird.
Yeah.
We only have 3 more minutes. I'm gonna guess you're Ken? Hold on a second. What is this cosplay? Hold on a second. I don't want to be offensive, but I'm gonna say you're Ken. Right. Yes, I got it right. This is Ken. Professor Remy, is there any room for Ken in the wormhole? Professor Remy, is there any room for Ken in the wormhole? Is the 5th slider?
Hey man, I'm game, brother. You game.
I'll tell you what, if you can get in this Cadillac back, you can go anywhere.
Ken, we're going to have to change the batteries on your outlet soon. What is your question?
So my question is, what was your favorite dimension that you went to over the course of the show?
Well, we mentioned that, you know what, wasn't it one where the professor was king? Wasn't he, I am, or no, he has that book that everybody brings to me that they have me sign where I Professor Arturo, I am always right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, you know what I like? There was an episode called Eggheads where smart people competed in sports, and I was like the Michael Jordan of the world because I was. Remember when we had lines and like they were giving me all the physicist lines?
Yeah.
The physicist and I like whispered John like John.
What the heck is this?
No.
Yeah.
But I love that Eggheads episode. That was a good one. Fellas?
Yeah, you know what I liked? It was because I did something for my brother. I like to keep his back. Because we were getting ready to shoot and I was going to do both parts of Rembrandt. It would be two different Rembrandts. And I thought about my twin brother. And so I went to the producers and I said, I got a twin brother who can sing. Yeah, right. I said, no, I got a twin brother who can actually sing, and you can bring him up. I think we were in Canada. And they said, no. They said, no, I've seen brother before. One's got talent, the other doesn't. I said, listen, you can take my salary. If you bring him up and he doesn't work, you can have my salary. They flew him in. And he blew their freaking minds. I'm telling you, I think about it now because my brother's out of the business now. He's not able to do it anymore. But I brought the video of that the other week and played it for him. And he sat there and watched that, and the tears just rolled and rolled. And I said, you and I did that, brother. You and I did that. So, thanks to Sliders for that.
It was so fun playing different characters. That's what's so fun as actors. And when you had an identical twin brother, it was so funny. Guys, that is all the time that we have. We thank you for this Sliders panel. Professor, what are we going to do to get this thing picked up?
We will petition, we will march in the streets. Demand the return
Thank you.
of Sliders.
Guys, please hang out because we're going to do one picture, please. We're going to do a picture here.
All right. Get out your phones, everybody. Come on, FanX. Stand up. Get out your phones.
Everybody out. Everybody out. Bring back Sliders. Are you ready? Bring back Sliders. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate you.
Once again.
Appreciate you so much.
Thank you, McConnell.
I feel like